right, we should be good. We should be good. Hey everybody, how you doing? How you doing? All right. All right. All right. I thought I changed the stream name of the title. Stream title. Okay. There we go. That should be fine. Okay, now we're gonna get our daily exercise, or I guess somewhat daily. Okay, strapped in, ready to go. Trying to get over feeling awkward in public. There's nobody here, but still, there's something that happens when it's like something I need to get over, which is like this need to be like always like super well behaved. I think it was like kind of burned into me as a child, was that if you act a certain way, that's not appropriate. You're not supposed to act like that. You're embarrassing me. It's like, no, like, I get to embarrass myself. I'm not doing anything wrong. And I think it just kind of stuck with me. And I'm trying to get rid of it. Yeah, so Xfinity Mobile seems to work here pretty well. Like I said, IRL streaming is going to be kind of sketchy until I can set up the hotspot on Monday or Tuesday, whichever happens first. But I think for like the most part, like, I actually think like we should be fine here. I just had to turn off the Wi-Fi because the Wi-Fi didn't work for this. And probably for good reason. They don't want like a ton of people uploading on that network probably. I would guess. But my mobile network seems to be working pretty well here. So I turned off the Wi-Fi and I have the mobile network on. And it's kind of a great day to go to hike around campus and to stream because there's nobody here during the summer usually, especially on Fridays. So it's actually kind of nice. It's like we're in the park. I kind of got you guys to myself. Got my sunblock on. And we're just going to be kind of walking around and enjoying the nice day. Beautiful day out. Yeah, this campus, the Santa Rosa Junior College, is pretty much like a home to me. I've spent a lot of time on campus, and look, a squirrel. It spotted us. I spent a lot of time on this campus. It's really gotten me through some tough times. And I'm still going through tough times, so it's still getting me through tough times. Ooh, someone has artwork. I don't know what it says. No, it's just some graffiti. I think like it's gonna take me some time to get used to doing IRL, and especially when I'm like just walking around, it's a little hard for me to have conversations, but I actually kind of think it's sometimes it's nice just to walk around and take in the environment. Hey, look, a nose. The nose knows. And yeah, this is it's like a pretty good campus because it's like, even if there are people here, it's like, it's kind of got like a, I mean, obviously within reason, but like they're kind of a free speech campus. So it's like, you know, people like, you know, they'll have like people like will be filming stuff. Like I've seen photographers around campus before, and people will do like political debates and stuff. So it's actually kind of a cool campus in the sense that like I feel like there needs to be more willingness to have difficult discussions in our society. And of course, personal space is always important. So it's like you should never violate someone's personal space. But you know, on the other hand, when somebody is ready to go to the table, you know, it's good that there's a table there. You know, to have the difficult discussions, the debates, political ideologies, religious ideologies, all sorts of different stuff. Because there's a whole bunch of different types of people on the planet. And if we're gonna kind of learn and grow as people, we kind of need to learn to have difficult discussions. And of course, not everybody's going to be okay with that. You know, not everybody's going to be willing to have those difficult discussions. And that's okay too. It doesn't make them any less. Everybody has their own personal space, and you know, just because there's freedom of speech doesn't, you know, kind of give you carte blanche to be an asshole. Good morning from New Zealand. How you doing? We're just walking around campus. It's a nice, beautiful day. And it's Friday in the summer, so there's like nobody here, which is like perfect for streaming. I have a lot of connection to this campus. It's like a second home to me, and you know, but you can't go pee on the fire hydrant. That's a myth. I'm just trying to get my exercise. You know, we're walking, we got the backpack. I got TTS on so I can hear you guys and have a chat with you. And just enjoying the environment, enjoying the day, enjoying the sunshine. I got sunblock on. And I guess I'm just basically just kind of getting used to IRL streaming. Like, there is something to be said about needing to practice being outside with the selfie stick. Because there needs to be like a confidence. There needs to be a confidence that I'm not embarrassing myself. It's hard to get over that. It's hard to get over the fear of embarrassment. Like, that's a real thing. And I think it's really important to acknowledge it. This is kind of like a nice, cute little path. Here's the art museum. Sometimes they have art displays here. I've never actually gone to any of the art displays. I think maybe once. So, maybe I should try to go to more, like art displays. Yeah, it's kind of like a... kind of like a nice little path here. They finally got rid of like a little bench that was like wooden that I think people broke it. It was not supposed to be sat on. It literally said, do not sit on bench, but obviously people are going to. Yeah, we got this nice little path we're walking on. Oh, see, look, there's a canoe. Yeah, they have to deal with people always like trying to sit and stuff, but this is like part of the museum. And then you got like a, kind of a circle here for people to, do certain things in a circle that we're not going to talk about. Well, I mean, like talking, researching, studying. Here's a reservation area. We can only look from the outside of the fence. Preservation, please stay out. I don't think this used to be a preservation area. This used to be the math building. I guess that's the math building now. Or no, I think they changed it to... No, I think the math building's over there. Never mind. I think that's housing area. Enjoying the beautiful day. Skipping around on a beautiful day. I'm like trying to gradually learn how to just be myself out in public. It's taken many years, and I was even talking to my therapist today about how, like, even though I got some really frustrating stuff that I'm, trying to wait through right now, for the first time in like, I think 6 or 7 years, I finally feel like I need to just say, you know what? I'm not going to wait to enjoy life. That's why I started this IRL quest of like leaving the house to go streaming. Even though I'm stressed out about situations, I'm not going to wait for the situation to be resolved to go live life. And I think that's like, my therapist was like really proud of me for that. Because it's like, I have been like, especially when I was going through surgeries, I don't feel this way as much anymore. I feel like I'm able to go out and take risks. Go out on adventures. Go out and live life. So that's a plus. That alone like made the surgeries worth it. Like just feeling like, hey, like I went through it and now I'm done. And now I can move on. Like that alone, besides the, obvious, like, getting rid of dysphoria and, getting rid of all that was definitely like a huge deal. But there's a second part to it that's like getting rid of the fatigue that comes with, going through a really difficult long-term process. It also had a level of grief to it. Like when your whole life revolves around a very, very deliberate and specific thing, and then suddenly it's over, even though it's for the better, there has been a grieving process. And I've had to come to terms with that and accept that. And now I'm starting to transition into a new phase where I'm starting to live life and focus on the here and now. So that's a big deal for me. Do I need auto white balance on? Oh, we're getting all those natural aerosols from the flowers and the plants, from the trees, all the beautiful stuff that life has. Because we're out here living life. And I'm not afraid of being stupid anymore. I'm not afraid of being silly and embarrassing myself. I'm not afraid of, things that I shouldn't be afraid of. I know a lot of people kind of trained me to shove all that part of me down. Like a lot of people throughout my life have said, "Oh, you're stupid, shut up. You're embarrassing us." And it's like, dude, just because I'm a little bit, it's like, why is that okay to act that way? And I, even as a kid, I was told to stop acting childish, even when I was literally a child. People would say that I was acting too childish at the time that you're supposed to be acting childish. They say, let kids be kids. Nobody let me be a kid. And so now as an adult, I'm letting that inner child come out and play. That part of my heart that needed to dance. That part of my heart that when I took that literal dance class, it started awakening. When I took the acting class, it started awakening. And now I'm kind of in a new kind of situation. It keeps shifting, I think that's just how life is. I think life just is about constantly shifting and being okay with that. And then finding your own constant. Being your own North Star. Because if you let everyone else steer the ship, you're going to be trapped. Because the world is going to steer you a certain way, whether you want it to or not. But at least if you have your own constant, if you're your own North Star, at least then you know that regardless of whatever's happening in your life, you have your own spark inside of you that you're never going to let anyone extinguish. And I think that's a place that took many years of effort for me to get to. It's so easy to take it for granted. It's so easy to take it for granted because it's it feels so basic. Basically just accepting that I'm allowed to steer the ship of my own life. It's a little terrifying sometimes. Because when you're allowed to steer the ship, sometimes you can steer the ship, into a cliff. Or off a cliff. I don't know how you went off a cliff when you're on land and on a ship. I mean, that's kind of the danger. It's You know, you're steering the ship into a bunch of jagged rocks sometimes. But, you know, you're going to be okay. As long as you have that North Star, that constant, that no matter where life steers you, you have your own guiding system. Where you can say, you know what, I don't care what other people are doing or what they're thinking. I know what's important to me. I know what matters to me in this life. And I'm not going to let them... I'm not going to allow them to make me waver. You know, I'm going to keep living my best life, and I'm going to enjoy life. I'm not going to let anybody diminish my light. Because I have a spark inside of me that people have always tried to extinguish, that sees joy in the mundane, that sees beauty in the normal, and makes something out of nothing. When most people kind of ignore it and pass it and let it pass by. You know, there's so many people out there, they keep their head down, and they do what they're told. They don't want to rock the boat. And then, you know, decades go by and then they're wondering why they're so miserable. I don't want to be that person. I've never wanted to be that person. Even at a young age. And that's kind of what's on my mind today. Kind of learning how to accept myself for who I am, all the weird parts and all. Scary parts, the dark parts, the light parts, and the kind of like normal parts, like, you know, the quirky parts, the silly parts. Every single part of me is something that makes me who I am. And it's okay that I am the way I am, because I know that my actions are guided by a strict moral compass that maybe other people are going to disagree with, but it doesn't matter what other people think. I know who I am, and I know what matters to me, and I know how to control myself and my actions. There's certain scenarios where I kind of lose control, but that's an autism issue, and I'm also addressing that. I'm not just ignoring it. You know, autism issues are mostly out of my control, but there are things I can control about it. At the very least, I can try. And not a whole lot of people are willing to do that. So it's like, I think like seeing my strength, that there's things about me that I take for granted that aren't. That there's specialness to me. And it's beautiful. And even if I wasn't special, even if I wasn't, beautiful, or, there's people out there that are just like, they don't care what other people think at all. They just shit on everybody. And even they seem to do okay. Nobody's going to stop them. Everyone knows they're an asshole, but they still get to live their life. So, if they get to do that, why am I punishing myself way worse than, quote unquote, they should? Because I don't think anybody should be punished for being who they are. Obviously, some people are just assholes. But if they're going to be an asshole and they don't care what other people think about them, that's on them. Eventually, it's going to catch up to them. And then they're going to be like, holy shit, I wish I wasn't such an asshole. But then they start making changes, and that's what matters. But like, I'm punishing myself as if I'm them. And it's like, dude, like, I don't know why I hold myself up to such a high standard. Because there's people out there that are literally, they yell at like a Taco Bell employee. like for not putting sour cream on their burrito. I need to put things in perspective here. Like, I'm not one of those people. Okay. That's something to be thankful for. Okay. I need to take a little bit of a breather. Get some water. Have another protein bar. Because I need some water. I need some water. Because I need some water. Because plants need water, man. Plants need water, man. Like, it's thirsty. Plants need water, man. Man. Plants need water. I'm an industry plant. Not really. Or maybe. Who knows? We can roll with it. The irony is that I'm not an industry plant, but then enough people speculate that I am, and so then I actually become an industry plant. As soon as people actually start questioning whether or not I am, and then when their guard is down, then I'm actually a plant, because then people approach me and they say, okay, everybody is confused and they're probably sure that you're telling the truth. Now we're going to have to make you lie. And we're going to pay you handsomely for it. Hey, I mean, money is what matters in life. I know that, like, people usually get it twisted. You can't have the things that truly matter if you don't have the bank account to support it. Because what truly matters are, like, the people in your life, your family, your chosen family, your loved ones, your significant others, with the parentheses. Some people have multiple significant others. Like, none of that really works out if you don't have the bank account to support it. Your hobbies, like the things that you really care about, the things like that actually improve the world. Like, if you're an artist, you can't fund it without money. And so it's like, money truly matters, because otherwise, money in and of itself doesn't matter, but it unlocks the ability to tend to the things that truly matter. And that's what people mean when they say that money matters. And it's like, I think it's really short-sighted when people are like, oh, you shouldn't care about money. It's like, you should definitely care about money. Because I can see that A leads to B, leads to C, leads to D. Okay? Like, you don't want to stick around in A. You know, doing something, well, A to B. A to B is just doing something that earns money. But if that's all you do, it's pretty empty. You want C and D, which are like, C is like, you know, your general lifestyle and like the people you care about, stuff that like makes life worth living. And then D is like stuff that's like truly like influencing the world, like to make the world a better place in the way that you want to see it. You can never get there without B. And you can never really get there without C either. Maybe C and D are kind of like a fork. Like, you do C and D at the same time. Once you've taken care of B, you have like an infinite branching point. Because that money unlocks everything. And, you know, it unlocks the ability to do these live streams. And, you know, in the end of the day, I think, like, it's really worth it to leave the house and go on these backpacking adventures. Because it's like, I'm a little bit overwhelmed, but at the same time, like, this is good for me. Like this is what I need. You know, I need to be able to leave the house and go out and exist in the world. And I want to share that with people. Okay, let's get back to the workout. Character select screen. like you know, when you change the outfit or change the loadout, they have to like it jumps every time. Emotes. Burn it, burn it, burn it, burn it. Yeah, I think I'm starting to like not care, like, even though there's like nobody here to see me do stupid stuff, but like I think I'm like actually starting to not care how people like criticize me, because I've had people criticize me oh God. Poop. Really? Really? I've had people like, you know, kind of cringe, like sometimes, especially like once people find out that I'm older than I look. Most people seem to think I'm in like my 20s. But even then it's like, well, how come it's okay for 20-year-olds to act that way? You know, like where do you draw the line? Like it's just so arbitrary, right? Like some people are like, oh, you shouldn't be acting that way because you're over 30. It's like, okay, well then why are you acting that way when you're 19? like it kind of doesn't make any sense to me, you know? Just be yourself is what everybody tells you to do. Oh, but don't be yourself if it's embarrassing. It's like, come on. You can't have it that way. Either you have to live in a worldview where people have to follow a strict set of behavior, or you live in a worldview where people are allowed to be themselves. So you can't have it both ways. If you're going to tell people to be themselves, and then when they start acting as themselves, then suddenly you're like, oh, that's embarrassing. It's like, okay, like you think it's embarrassing, but like I think it's kind of embarrassing to feel like your behavior is embarrassing. So in a way, like you're the one who's being embarrassing, because you're like so strict on your behavior. You're not allowing yourself to fully enjoy life. You're not allowing yourself to enjoy the moment. You know, you're not creating those little pieces of value that it's not like, I mean, you kind of have to get over yourself. You're just a random primate. Yeah, like nobody cares about you. Like, I mean, in a good way. Like, they shouldn't. Like, every single moment, like, nobody's gonna, I mean, who's gonna care if you, like, do a stupid little dance and somebody's like, oh, that's embarrassing. You should be embarrassed. It's like, okay, but, like, in 10 years, is anybody gonna remember that? I know in this moment, when I allow myself to do a little stupid dance, it's bringing me joy. It's making life less miserable. And by the time you get into your 30s, you're going to know why we need that. And it's like usually people Oh, my headset was disconnected for a while. I think usually people in their 20s still haven't figured that part out yet. That the reason people... It's like as you get older, you actually start, like, hopefully getting younger. Like, as far as, like, the way... But it's, like, in a mature way because you understand what matters. Hopefully. Not everybody gets there, but I feel like I have my head screwed on right. Let me check chat really quick because my headset was disconnected. Headset connected. Headset disconnected. Yeah, I need to check that really quick. Oh, I also didn't zip it up. Maybe I should move the phone. I think the phone, like, fell deeper into the abyss. Oh, it also turned off. Oh, I'm actually getting the Verizon SIM card tomorrow. So we can actually do a full testing of the Verizon coverage tomorrow. Okay, so I think I can put this, like, just in here, and then it'll be more closer to my head. Okay, yeah, I'm like kind of getting like a cool backpack setup, you know? You know, even though I know that it is like a free speech campus, I still don't like the idea of filming people when they don't know they're being filmed. So, you know, I think I'm pretty... I think I'm pretty good at understanding, like, social etiquette when it's, like, very surface level. I think the issues I have are when I get into, you know, because it's like, you know, I have social blindness, but not like it when it comes to, like, really outward level etiquette. Like, I'm pretty polite. Like, I'm pretty damn polite when it comes to everyday like stuff. Like, for the most part. There might be some parts where your headset is connected. Okay, that's good. Like, for the most part, I think, like, when it comes to very surface level situations, like, very, like, outer social levels, like, very, like, basically, like, if you think of, like, social connections as, like, you know, like a party and you're at a house, then when you're in the parking lot, you know, that's just people who you just kind of run into, or, you know, like, just kind of, like, not really, you know, it's just kind of like an outer area. I'm pretty good at the outer areas, and I'm pretty good at the really close areas. But there's all this in between where it's like, how to know when somebody shifts from one region to the next. That's where I struggle. Like, when the levels of intimacy, like, at what point does someone no longer a stranger? At what point is someone no longer an acquaintance? At what point is somebody a friend? At what point is somebody a close friend? At what point is somebody a significant other? That's where I struggle. Like, that's the biggest struggle, and I don't really know how. And besides that, there's, like, social dynamics and social structures. Those are all so kind of alien to me, and I'm trying to figure them out, but you can't really figure them out if you don't have access to it. And so that's kind of the dilemma I'm in right now. But I have to actually, like, go out and live life, and I'm going to start by just, you know what? Here's something I can control. I can leave the house. I can go backpacking by myself with a selfie stick. And I can do IRL streaming. And whatever else happens, it's not in my control. I have to, be polite. And, I kind of just need to, and this morning I was actually kind of thinking this, I'm kind of starting to learn how to just let things be and to not worry about things and just try to take things as they come. That I don't need to have all the answers right now. I can't. I literally can't have all the answers. But what I can do is I can exist in this moment and take this moment for what it is. And ironically, the more I focus on the here and now, the better the future will end up being, because I'm not focused so much on things that are out of my control. And instead, I'm focusing on the here and now, where I am more likely to see things more accurately as far as being able to control them. So, that's kind of a place that I started coming to this morning, was being able to differentiate between hey, at this moment, I don't need to have all the answers. I just need to exist in this moment and enjoy what it has to offer. And I think there's a real strength to that. Let's cross the street here. Oh shit. The bass trap. Or the bass trap. One up. Underground EDM party for the gamer and all of us. Oh shit. Some Ghost in the Shell style shit. Oh, literally Ghost in the Shell. Sirens Fest? Oh, what's going on in Sebastopol? I didn't know about this. 3 days of dance and music. 300 dancers. Oh, and there's workshops. Oh, and a shisha tent. I don't like tobacco. I think that's what it is. Oh yeah, I was going this way. Just enjoying the air and listening to the sound of the birds chirping. And just taking in all this data. Getting out of the house and taking in all the data, that's really important. All this stuff going on that my brain can analyze. All this information. Oh my god. Yeah, getting those aerosols. The flora, the pollen. Oh, we're being watched. Yeah, here's a nice garden area. Internet cuts out there. Welcome to Jurassic Park. There was like a meme like when I was in the jazz band back in like 2016. The jazz band and jazz combos, all of the saxophone, like the whole section, and like also the whole band, like, but mainly the sax section and like a few of the trombones. Like we had this meme where like in the middle of nowhere we'd start playing the Jurassic Park theme, like you know, like the meme, like that crow flew away. Thought I was another crow. You know, like the Bork meme, or like the recorder. Yeah, let's sit down for a little bit. We don't have to go crazy. We can take breaks. Okay. Yeah, we're allowed to take breaks. Oh, underneath the trees, I lost the network a little bit. Oh yeah, I was gonna have another protein bar. Okay, let's get the protein bar. Okay. Yeah, like that's another thing. I was like about like things that we find embarrassing mouth when they're chewing and like it's not the end of the world, you know. Like, we're just some primates who evolve too fast. Okay, the garbage is over there, so I'm gonna have to hold on to that until we get up. I think it's a pretty beautiful day out. Don't you think? All right. Get into the second bottle of water. Spamanamahamana. 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 Okay. Spamanamahamana. Spamanamahamana. Okay. Oof. Yeah, I'm thirsty. Arr, 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 arr. Arr, 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 arr. Arr, 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 arr. Arr, 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 arr. I can't whistle for the life of me. One day I'll get it. One day I'll get it. Like I can regular whistle. What is that, a goose? A duck? What kind of bird is that? I wonder what kind of bird that is. I was so thirsty. Okay, I think we can get back to our walk. Okay. All right. Getting some exercise. Okay, only garbage. Don't put any recycling in there. Not allowed. I'm not allowed. Oh, there's a squirrel over there. We got the centerpiece here. And here we are, in the middle of the nowhere no. We're in the middle of the nowhere no. And here we will find the nowhere no beast. the nowhere no. Oh, yeah, brought to you by Opera Browser. Here's the little outdoor stage thing. Look at the flowers. The nowhere, no. The nowhere, no. The nowhere, no. The nowhere, no. Oh my goodness. The bird. Another bird. There's these things. You are welcome here, chat. You are welcome here. You're welcome. You better feel welcome. You better feel welcome. Ooh, look at that tree. Big, long, gnarled trunks. Yeah, kind of like the way the ivy like climbs up the building there. Like kind of disconnected for a second. Like it connected. We were here earlier, so I don't know what that was. Let's go. this interesting little wannabe little path here. Which way? Which way? We go this way. And don't fall in there, chat. Hello? If somebody's just like there, they just like, is there some dude in there? That'd be crazy. I don't want to get my, I don't want to walk through this. Why does it keep saying Irl Updates? Because I set it to IRL walking around campus. It keeps resetting. I don't know how to set Restream to stop doing that. Like, when I set it in Restream, it doesn't set it in Twitch. Even though it says it changes the title, it doesn't seem to. It's so frustrating. It's so frustrating. It's so frustrating. Like, oh my god. Like, why are you dressed like that? Only the blue part burns you. Isn't like apparently the hottest part of the fire is actually the outer edge? No, I don't know about that. I'm stupid. I'm like so stupid. So stupid. I'm just going a little cray-cray. Just a little. Just enough to enjoy life. I think it's about time to kind of sit down again. Just chill for a little bit. You can just chill for a sec. Daddy, chill. Daddy, chill. What the hell is even that? Daddy, chill. Yes. Oh, bird. Let's chill for a sec. Let's chill. Oh no, not there. It's too echoey. Let's chill. I think it's a great day today. I think we're having lots of fun. We're having so much fun. Such a fun day. Don't you think? It's such a fun day. I tell you what. Are we even connected to chat here? Where are you, chat? Can't find. What? You fell out. Fell off. Oh, there you are. Yeah, why does it say... Why does it keep renaming the stream? It just keeps renaming the stream for some reason. So frustrating. It's so frustrating. Yeah, I think like yesterday, I think I made a bunch of clips yesterday. Actually, like whenever I'm actually talking to the stream, it feels like I'm not saying anything. And then I watch the VOD later and I'm like, whoa, like I'm actually saying a lot. It's such a weird situation. Like maybe I just need to learn how to trust, you know, my instincts and like trust the fact that when I am talking to the stream, it's not going to feel the same way that it's going to feel when I watch the stream. Because I go through the VOD later and I realize I was talking about a lot of different things in a very quick succession of like different topics. I was like clipping like left and right. Like I kept clipping. I made a whole bunch of clips yesterday from yesterday's VOD. Like I need to learn how to trust that. Like, just learn how to trust that when I'm talking, it's going to feel like it's completely empty. Like, I feel so stupid right now. I feel like I'm absolutely, like, providing zero value. And then it's like, but that instinct inside of me, like, that tells me that I'm a failure, that's imposter syndrome. And you just do it anyway. Because I'm learning to trust that even though I have imposter syndrome, it's not about overcoming it. It's about showing up and doing it anyway. Like, even though I feel stupid, maybe somebody who was observing me would probably call me stupid. That doesn't really matter. Because in the end of the day, like, I'm showing up and I'm doing it. And I'm not overcoming imposter syndrome. That can never happen. I don't think so. Like, I don't think imposter syndrome ever goes away. That self-doubt. I think you just show up and you're like, you know what? I'm stronger than the self-doubt. I'm gonna like, it's staring me in the face. It's like shouting at me, but I'm like deflecting, like it's like shooting, like, you know that meme where it's like the guy and like he's talking and like daggers come out into like, you know, like it's like an anime drawing and it like shows the guy talking and daggers come out and it's stabbing like, I guess the girlfriend. And, like it's like that, but like the daggers are coming at you and you just like let them go fing fing fing, like, because imposter syndrome or self-doubt is going to stare you right in the face and it's going to bombard you with all sorts of reasons why you should stop doing. Oh, welcome back, Dime. Yeah, the stream went out a few times, but we're back. We're just kind of resting in between walking I think today is actually going really well. I think this is a good stream. We haven't had too many people on chat, but you know, I'm not really like a super like well-known streamer, so that's kind of normal. But I am capturing good footage, and it's also like good exercise. It's good practice for you know, like holding the camera and finding right angles and lighting and all that. So it's like I was saying like earlier just now, it's like when you are actually in the action, like when you are in true. Like, I mean, there is a beautiful world around us though. Like, don't you see it? But like, I need to remember, yeah, we're on the Santa Rosa Junior College campus. It's a beautiful campus. This place is like a home to me. When I've had nothing, this place provided me like a place that was like my rock several times throughout my life. And it's just a beautiful campus. They take really good care of it. It just feels like home to me. And I think like the biggest part is that I start letting the self-doubt win. And that whenever I'm starting to learn that when I am in the process of creating, I think this is true for everybody. Like when you are in the process of creating, you're going to feel so insanely different than what it looks like on the other end of it. Because your brain is like in a different state of existence. Like right now, I am in the process of accepting the environment around me. I am focusing on like, you know, speaking. I know that there's a camera here. I know that like, you know, whatever happens, it's gonna happen. And that like, I'm learning to trust that when I have something to say, there's a reason for it. And that even though it feels like it's the stupidest, like nothing, that like it doesn't provide any value whatsoever, I need to discard that feeling and just let it happen anyway, because it's just a rough draft, you know? Like everything we do is a rough draft. And like sometimes you're going to get some good quality stuff, sometimes you're going to get some not so good quality stuff. It doesn't particularly matter. Obviously, if you're doing a very specific like speaking event or a performance. Oh, thanks for your support. Thanks for the tier 1 sub. Thanks for the sub. Thanks for your support. I just feel like every single... Oh, it's you. Oh, it's just you. No, I mean, I feel like no matter what happens, like, obviously if you're doing like a very specific, like, performance where you need to do a lot of front loading, you have to rehearse, and you only get one shot. Even then, people are not like going to expect you to be a robot. You know, like people make mistakes. What makes a professional level, like high level performer is that you make less mistakes. You're more consistent. And pretty much your goal is to never screw up. And professionals pretty much never screw up. But they do have, you know, there are situations that are not perfect. Like, you could be playing violin and you're like this perfect, like, expert level, like, professional violinist. And sometimes the string is going to snap. Now, obviously, a professional is going to take so much great care to make sure that they have, like, a very strong strings, that they've replaced the strings at the proper time, like not right before the performance, but like leading up to the performance. Yeah, I mean, sometimes you just like kind of like, it's like, I mean, I guess surgery is a good example. Like, surgeons, especially with cosmetic surgeries, they know how to make the smallest incisions and then how to hide the incisions so that mostly, like, you don't see them. Like, you kind of just have to, like, it's not that you're never making mistakes, it's that you've learned how to make mistakes, like, strategically, or that you've learned how to, like, you do your best, and if you make a mistake, you kind of just roll with it. Like, that's the difference between, like, an amateur and a professional. Like, as far as skill level, we're not talking about, like, literal, like, amateur. Like, an amateur, in the traditional sense, is somebody who's not getting paid, and a professional is someone who's getting paid. I think that line has blurred in recent times. It was 5:30 a.m. for you. Right now, it is 12:53 for me. I think we started the stream at like 11 a.m. for me. So we've been streaming for an hour and 23 minutes. I think like the biggest thing is that like what I've learned from when I was studying as a musician, you know, playing clarinet, for example, like a reed might break. Like, it's totally possible that while you're playing, like a reed instrument, like you're playing and then you know, it just breaks. You know, maybe you screw up when you bring it to your face. Like, you're going to practice enough in the practice room. You know, after enough times, you kind of figure out how to avoid that. But at some point, there's going to be something out of your control. You're not perfect. And I think, like, learning how to just roll with it. And also, not every situation is life or death, you know. You should treat it like it's life or death if you're a professional, especially if you're if you're a performer. Obviously, it's not life or death, but it kind of is. You should treat it as life and death, because then it's like, I'm like 6 foot tall. There's like a balance you have to have, because not every single performance is super high stakes, right? Like, if you're a surgeon and you're performing heart surgery, then yeah, it's life or death, like literally. Okay, but if you're like a performer, like an actor or a musician, you still need to treat the performance with a level of respect for the craft. But in the end of the day, if you fail, nobody's going to die. I mean, unless you're in some kind of weird Machiavellian situation, like some anime, like if you fail, if you mess up this performance, I am going to teleport everyone on the planet into outer space. I'm pretty sure that's not the case most of the time. Some of the time. I'm also just kind of learning how to exist in the moment and not always having to like make some kind of content. That's kind of the beauty of long form content, is you kind of have a lot of breathing room. Is that there's like a lot of empty space. The art of stalling. You know, it's like clippable moments are going to happen at some point. I don't have to make every single moment a clippable moment. That's the beauty of having a VOD, is you can go in and you can edit out all the parts that you don't need. Duh! I don't know why I don't get that. Maybe it's because I've had such a history as a musician. I've always treated things as like, you have to go through to the end. Like, you have to go, you can't stop once you start. Like, I think it's a musician thing. That, like, but I'm trying to learn different forms of performance. And, like, not everything is music, okay? Like, in music, you start the piece, and you go straight through, and you don't stop for anything. Like, unless, like, you know, the building's on fire, or, like... Sometimes the conductor will be like, let's start over. Like, but only, like, right at the beginning. If it's, like, so bad that you're like, but you have a very small window before that gets awkward. Like, you know, when like, a lot of beginner musicians, like, especially, like, take, for example, piano. I had this issue because I'm not very trained in piano, but when I was taking classes for my music degree, which I still haven't finished, but when I was I'm crazy! No, I'm just autistic. When I was working on my music degree, you have to take piano courses. And I love piano and I want to learn piano, but it's really hard to get good at. Any instrument is, but it's not my expertise. Like, I'm better with wind instruments. I switched from brass to woodwinds when I went to college. So I learned clarinet and saxophone, and I got to a pretty good level. I got to college level in like 1.5 semesters. So, I mean, it was pretty good. I'm pretty proud of myself for that. But a lot of people, when they're learning piano, they'll start playing the etude or whatever, especially if it's like at a recital. Most people you meet, when they start playing something that they practiced, they'll start playing it and then they'll make a mistake and they're like, wait. And then they'll start over and they're like, dun, 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 wait. And it's like that starting and stopping is what's killing your performance. Like, you need to learn how to just, like, you just go with the flow. Like, you make a mistake, but then you get right back to it. You know, like, you just keep going forward. And, like, because it's more awkward to start and stop, especially if you're talking. There is no talking in the sheet music. Like, sometimes sheet music actually says spoken word, like, whatever. But that's mostly not the case. Most of the time, it does not say any that is not part of the script. Okay? Like, the sheet music says to play the music, and then you sit there and you play it, but a lot of people are like, sorry. And that's what's killing your performance. And so you kind of have to learn how to just have like a level of confidence, even if you're not competent. It trains you to just, you know, hey, here's where you are at this exact moment in time. This is your level. Be okay with it. Because you can always play it again later, and you're going to be able to compare yourself to your past self and learn from each time. All right, let's get back to our hike. All right. Getting some exercise, but you got to remember to take breaks. You don't have to exercise the whole time. Especially since we've been live streaming for about 1.5 hours. What do I really want to do with my life? Live it. I mean, honestly, that's the $1 million question, isn't it? Like, it's one thing to just, like, figure out, okay, you need certain things in order to live life. But then it's like, what do you really want to do? true, but not true. I think that's the goal, is like looking for how to express yourself in your like true form. It's harder than it seems. I know you're sitting in there in chat, and it's maybe it's different for you because you can see things differently, but it's a lot harder when you have the selfie stick. Okay, it's it's hard to come up with what to say. Lately, I've also been really stressed out with life issues, but I'm starting, and I talked to my therapist today about this, is that I'm starting to just go out and live life anyway, even though things aren't perfect, even though things aren't where I need them to be. I'm waiting for services to start and resources to be available, and it's taking a frustratingly long time. And this summer, I don't want this summer to go by. You know, I don't want this summer to be squandered. There's a beautiful world out here, and I got my backpack, and I'm ready for an adventure. And we're gonna, I have to figure out, the best places to where I'm not gonna get a broken connection. But right now we're using an Xfinity Mobile, which is not super crazy stable. It's only stable in certain locations, and then if you move around, it completely just disconnects multiple times. It's not the best for live streaming, especially when you're roaming around or driving. But I'm going to be trying out the Verizon network when I get the SIM card tomorrow. I should get it tomorrow. True. Yeah, pretty true. You know what? That's true. Yeah, true. That's true. Pretty true. Yeah, that's true. Is it true? Yeah, that's true. True. That's true. Pretty true. Oh, wait. You know what we need to do? Check this out, chat. You're going to love this. You're going to love this. You're going to love this. Oh, God. I hope you guys saw me there. Here, let's do it again. That's going to be a great clip. I think so. Yeah, I don't know. I think a lot of it is just like, sometimes, my natural performance being like larger than life is my natural. Hey, what's up, High Life? Sometimes, I think a lot of people don't really understand this about me sometimes. When I act fake, that's actually the real me. Like, I like being a performer. I like being silly and stupid and saying things that aren't true. Like, you know, like, people go to another planet. Yeah, true. You know, like, if you go to another planet, you move to Texas, you know, if you're on another planet, you got to be really careful about what you eat. You know, your scans might say that, you know, it's edible, but then you eat it and you turn into a tree. As soon as you start eating it, one of the locals is like, well, okay, why are you eating that? You know that turns you into a tree, right? It's like, I came up with that this morning. I probably didn't deliver it too well, but we tried. It's a little bit of a... Nice, I hope you're enjoying Texas. I am like kind of afraid to leave California, but we're going to be doing a lot of live streaming around, you know, the SF Bay area. Thank you. There's a lot of stuff to explore in the area I live in. Just in Sonoma County alone, it's got a huge Verizon coverage. So even though Xfinity's the backup, you know, but like Xfinity cuts out a lot. And so we can't really explore a lot of places. We have to kind of find a place that's stable. Dance video. I can't do Running Man. You look up to me? Why do you look up to me? Why do you look up to me? I mean, why do you look up to me? I wonder why. I wonder why you look up to me. Literally, like, are you that stupid, Rebecca? Like, are you just so stupidly silly? Like I'm like, you know, sometimes I let my inner child like take over, and like, I don't really... I was talking about this earlier, how, like, I was, like, raised, like, growing up, like, basically pressured to force all the parts of me that I really love, like being silly. Because, like, anytime I started making jokes or anytime I started having fun, people would shove it down. They'd be like, shut up, you're stupid, you're embarrassing. And they're projecting, of course. You know, they were afraid to let go of the judgment that they feared. And interestingly enough, they kind of burned it into me, this fear of being judged. And not, you know, like, I'm starting to learn how to not care. Like, not... Be fun, be happy, smile. See, look, you know, sometimes you just gotta, you know, drink from the fountain of youth. I'm queen of the world. This is why I have no friends. Okay, chat. You dare me to jump in? You dare me to jump in? I'm doing it. There's no water. Probably not. I mean, unless I'm in public. I mean, it would be a little bit weird, but maybe I should get over it. I mean, if somebody just popped up and say, "Hey!" Like, if someone just popped in right now, I'd be a little bit freaked out, but maybe I'd get over it. Like, if someone was like, "Hey, I'm watching your stream." Like, right here. Like, just right, waiting around the corner. Hands in their pants. You know? They're like, "What? I'm cold. I have a medical condition." And I feel bad because I'm like assuming that this person is like doing something unsavory, but they're really just, you know, he has a medical condition, chat. That's why he's putting his hands in there. How insensitive of me to like be disrespectful of his disability. And that's why he has baby oil. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness gracious. Like, oh my god. Yeah, see, I like to be silly and larger than life. I like to say stupid things. I like to make things up. I like to have fun. When I was a kid, I would like mute TV shows that I've already seen, like cartoons, and I would like voice them over, like act them out. I would play around with sound recorder, like me and my siblings would do that on Windows 95. We would get sound recorder, and we would just make up little skits. Like there was one was like, "Citra, that's the problem. Everybody keeps on putting it into milk. It's disgusting. It's wrong, I say. But it's actually kind of tasty. But it's wrong." Yeah, the Citra one was a pretty famous one. There was like, "I am a beautiful woman. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness gracious. I don't even need to wear makeup. And I'm so beautiful." Nah, I'm not perfect. But I am pretty beautiful. In my own way. I have a light inside my heart, and I let it shine. I'm talking about my lips. You think they're pretty beautiful? This isn't AI. I got like duck lips. No, I'm not getting lip fillers, chat. I'm not doing that. We're not going off the deep end, okay? I got just enough surgeries. There's a point where you have to say, okay, let it go. Let it go. No more surgeries. No more surgeries, I swear. No more surgeries. Please. Please. No more surgeries. I probably look like a psychopath. I'm like walking around a selfie stick talking to myself. I do some squats. With the weight, with the backpack being so heavy, I can only do 5. I started getting lightheaded. Ooh, 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 oh, Daisuki ne. Daisuki ne. なんでいたの、お兄ちゃん。Shut up, bruh. Bruh. Jorkin. Emergency. Emergency. Chat, I need an adult. I need an adult. I am the adult. Look at this. I'm gonna put you in there, chat. You're not behaving. I'm gonna put you in the Bastilian. That's what it's called. The Bastilian. I'm calling it this. It's called the Bastilian. This is the Bastilian. It was built in 1897. The Bastilian. They used to hold charlatans. And the Scarlet Crusade. Nobody expects the Scarlet Inquisition. Still rising. You know, I eat corn the long way, and what I mean by that is I eat them one kernel at a time. Ow. 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 Look, a pretty flower. A pretty flower, Chad. A pretty flower. Oh my god, that smells so good! It smells so good, Chad. It smells so good. Okay, I'm starting to kind of lose it. I'm actually kind of getting tired. I'm gonna get going. I ran out of water too. So, let's just kind of find a place to chill for a little bit and then I'm gonna head out. We could sit down right here. Okay, you. I don't think that's what I thought it was. Okay. Well, thank you all for joining today's beautiful chat where we went outside and we acted like crazy people some of the time. But I hope you enjoyed the beautiful day. I hope you're having a beautiful day. I hope you get some good exercise. I hope you, find what you're looking for. You know, go outside, live life, laugh, love. And, just find one thing, chat. Find one thing that you can do today that's outside of your normal bullshit. Okay, just do one thing. Like if it's like going outside instead of staying inside, if it's like, shutting down your computer instead of launching League for the, 12th time in a row, like just shut it down, do something different. And you can always come back to it later. Like nobody's gonna like, you don't have to like commit to like one thing and then always do it. Like you could just like say, hey, how about I just delay it just a little bit? And today, like I could have gone straight home, but instead I went out on a hike and I streamed it for 1 hour and 53 minutes. And then I sneezed. Bye, chat. Stalling.